world is yours, nigga. Every day is a win, nigga. Even when you lose, it's a lesson, eh?
All right, y'all. This is Brahamid Speaks. We're about to trap, man. Talk to your boy Brahamid. Today's title for the episode is Should Men Still Be Providers Today? All right. The world has changed. Women are working, making money, becoming independent. But expectations in relationships haven't completely changed. So today we're asking a real question. Should men still be providers today? This is Brahamid Speaks. Game passed down. Let's get into it. All right, my brother Brahamid. How's your day going today, man?
Good, man.
I'm
here.
That's good, man. Another day, another blessing.
Another day. I'm here.
You know? Okay, so my first question I want to ask you today. Do you think men are still supposed to be providers today?
Well, yes, because we don't just provide finance, is what I'm saying. We provide a slew of things to a woman, a wife, our kids, our mothers, our daughters, our sisters. We're the first defense of the family, period. It's not necessarily financial. Big part. We talked about this. We can always go and refer back to what we talked about. He's supposed to be the provider, and he's supposed to set things straight from the start. He's providing his kindness. He's providing his strength. He's providing his know-how, if he got some in him. He's a provider of so many different things, not just financial. Important? Hell yeah, it's important. But he is the backbone of the family. If you look in the animal kingdom, especially the lions, which are closest to humans, because we are social, we both have the social connect. They work together. So should he be the provider? He should always be the provider and bring the calm and the peace, and then he could bring a little bit rage if anybody tries to come and interfere with that. This is where he's valuable the most, and people are going to think twice if you have a man around. They're going to think twice of everything. That's why I always go to my kids' school. Again, I always have a story to tell of why we are the providers. I provided protection for my daughter. She was about 7 years old, and I was living in the home. Then I tell you, this is where I'm aware, and I have that third eye and the insight. So I was wondering why she had this milk carton in her bag, and I'm like, what is that milk carton there? And she says to me, there's a kid that keep putting his milk carton there. And I told her, well, you're gonna have to tell him to stop doing that, because if not, I'm going to come up to the school. She was like, no, I'll take care of it. I said, okay, you better take care of it. If not, I'm going to come up to the school. And she was like, you're not going to know who it is anyway. I said, trust me, I will know who it is. And she said, how will you know? I said, do you want me to prove it to you? She said, okay, go ahead. You can prove it to me. I said, okay, I'm going to take you to school tomorrow. So I took her to school, and I'm scanning the school grounds before the bell rang. And I'm looking around. This is where the provider is, the provider of protection, provider of finance, provider of love, provider of a whole bunch of things, right? He's providing a whole bunch of things, not just money. So I'm scanning the school grounds, and I'm looking for the kid that's gonna, when we get eye contact, he's gonna look down, right? I already know it's gonna be him. She didn't know that I already know this, but this is how insightful I am. So I'm scanning, and I caught the first kid eye that's looking at me. And he looked down, and then my gaze on him was constant now. I did not have to keep looking around, because I knew it was him off top. And I looked, he looked up again, and then he looked down. And he looked up again, and he looked down, and I looked at her, and I said, I know who it is. She was like, no, you don't. I said, if I pick him out, are you going to tell me the truth, or are you going to play with me? She said, no, I'm going to explain to you that it's him. I said, it's that kid right there. And she said, how did you know? I said, sweetie, I already told you that I see everything, I know everything, and I am everything. That's what makes me the provider.
I feel that, man. I feel that. So you're saying provision is more than money. It's more than monetary.
Oh, for sure, bro.
Because nowadays in society they make it seem like if you ain't got no money, you're not a man, and like so manhood equals like I know they say provider, protector, but when you explain that, because I know that can possibly go over people's head, so I want us to really dig deep on this one and really drive it home to the listener to understand that provision doesn't always equal out money, but it's important that you have money, but
Yeah, well, again, it's still the most important one of them all. It really is. It is the most important one. Remember previous episode, again, people, we got to go back because then I have to tie everything in. If the foundation is set up, it makes it easier for everyone, the woman and the kid, right? But then you're not only providing that. It's a protection. It's a built-in protection. Then he's going to be taller than you. That's a built-in protection. That he's bigger than you, right? Look at the lions. The lion is bigger. They think that they don't hunt. The male lions don't hunt. They're better hunters than the women because they could take down bigger prey. He can take down bigger prey that will last longer. So he's vital for us to eat for weeks. I mean, for months instead of just a few weeks. That's when the ladies hunt. They'll hunt gazelles, blah, blah, blah. But most likely, if you have the male lion come and take down a buffalo, that's a month of eating good. His presence alone, a man's presence alone, solidify provider. Just to look up this guy. I told you when I walk up to the school, they already know he's providing protection for his kids. Protection, not money, women. He's providing protection. That's one of the biggest one. Why do you think they told Cinderella ass to get her ass home before 12? Because after 12, men gonna eat her up. They're not gonna eat her up. They're actually gonna fuck the shit out of her. She's not gonna make it home. She's gonna be soiled by the time she get home, and then they won't be able to pawn her off to the king or the prince, right? So that's why they're telling her. The mother, remember, it was her fairy godmother. I forgot how the story goes, but it wasn't no dude telling her these things. It was a woman, and first of all, it was a man. They wouldn't have gonna let her ass go. Nigga, come see my daughter. But anyway, I'm going off script a little bit. But anyway, I'm just trying to give you guys a little. But he's more than finance. He's protector. He's love. He's not love. Remember, it's just a 4-letter word. Not love like that. But the protecting, the finance, the just being there is more than you can ask for.
I would ask, with feminism, do you feel that the role has changed now?
With feminism, as far as how women think, or how men think of
just the way that
feminism, the whole feminism.
Yeah,
the whole feminism thing was a grave disservice to the same one who wanted to be equal, because you're not gonna win this battle, women, with men. You could try all you want. We're gonna always be more superior to you. It's just the way it is. You can fight it all you want. You're coming in behind.
Don't say that, man.
I'm just being honest, bro. Remember, I told you I don't blink, bro. I tell you the truth from what I've seen. Remember that. I'm not telling you that it's something that I've just seen. It's just the way. Remember, there are more countries that have more control over women than not, right? Yeah. Where they can't do shit. They're lucky that America and the West is the way it is to give them some partial inclusion, right, into society. Great thing. You're supposed to be a part of it, but remember, you get cut out the picture when you are when it's taken away from you. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example of when your the power that you think you have as a feminist gets taken away from you. If you're a straight feminist, mind you. I'm not talking about the ones that are all that crazy shit that they talk about. Some other time we're gonna talk about that, but not right now. But anyway, you are taken out the picture when you're on your period, right? You're taken out the picture when you get pregnant. You're not in the picture no more. You can't do much no more. That's why I say that men are just gonna always be the one on top, because we don't have worries like y'all do. We don't have kids that we have to. We should, but we don't have to be there, especially if we get kicked out or we get whatever happened. We end up in jail more than y'all anyway. But you're always going to be considered fourth class citizen in this society. It's just the way that it is. I know you're not going to want to hear this shit, but it's just the way that it is. You come forth, white man, black man maybe, but then I say no because the white women got the black man hung. So white man, white women, black man, then black women. So feminism was not for you in the first place because the black man didn't have no power to dictate shit, still to this day.
Yeah.
So feminism for black women? No, you're behind. You're behind us. You got to stand behind us. It's just the way it is. We built, have been said before, we built the world in America as it is today so that not only men can be comfortable, but especially the women, our mothers, our grandmothers, our baby girls, women. We built it so women could be comfortable, right? So that we don't, because if it was fucked up, y'all be making more complaints. I'm only talking about America. I live here, so I'm talking about America. I'm not talking about them motherfucking places. I'm talking about America, okay? It was built for the comfort of Americans. And so you benefit from it. But y'all trying to infiltrate something that you cannot infiltrate because you are a woman. Hear me roar. Roar! Man wins all the time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so I would ask you this. Do you feel as though feminism ruined the black community or played a part in it?
It's not just the black community. It ruined women.
No.
It's not a black-white thing with feminism. Remember, it started with white folks, so they're part of it.
Yeah.
They're included too. I'm not talking about just black women now.
So you think it ruined the whole...
It ruined the whole drive that they are really going to make a stride to become like men. No, sweetie. I'm sorry to tell you. No, you're not. You can't beat me. You can't beat me. That's why y'all so scared of men, because you know we could be evil as fuck, because we bigger than y'all. We're smarter than y'all. We're tougher than y'all. We've been... You wouldn't go hunt wolves. I don't know why y'all think that this country was just built like just what you see to this day. They had to go and carve out this land, and y'all wouldn't be out there with what the men had to go through. Cowboys? There weren't no cowgirls doing half the heavy lifting that men did. We created this earth for y'all. Accept it. Prime example, right? You got the March Madness right now. You got the women basketball game and you got the men basketball game. They talk about the women basketball game for 3 minutes. They talk about the men basketball game for 30 minutes. You're not going to ever overpass us. It's just the way it is. You're going to have to accept it. You won't, but you're going to have to accept it. The more they put you guys in top position, the more they're going to be able to take it away. Why they are able to take it away? Because man run this.
So I want to ask you, what does being a provider even mean?
A provider means that you're stable again. If men could only get this one thing to make life easier, you're still going to argue, you're still going to go through all that bullshit. Provider means that you have the foundation, the concrete takes a while to cure, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes a while to cure. And after you cure, it don't move. Look at when tornadoes come through. What part does it rip off first? Right? It ripped the whole building down, right? Mm-hmm. But look at what happens to the foundation. Is it ripped up? Is it not still there?
It remains.
Okay, then. So if you can be that strong, you have to be that strong, foundational, that strong, that even after everything gets ripped down, you can rebuild again. Mm-hmm. You'll know how to rebuild because it starts with the foundation. Mm-hmm. You know, so he's gonna need to always be a provider. Let's change it now to where men can really be providers. How it starts is you build your foundation first, so you can attract the right woman, because she will be coming after you if she sees that your foundation is solid. Don't build a weak foundation though. Build a strong one.
So it's basically not about just money. It's more about structure.
It's always been about structure. The ones who have the best structure get the best women. Get the best outcome in life, right? Mm-hmm. It only makes sense, right? It sounds very profound, but it's real.
He's real.
Yeah, it's real. He gets the best results if his structure is solid. That means his character. That means his money. That means his belief system. That means his physicality. He's on his shit, and it looking from the outside at somebody that is on their shit looks good, and people are attracted to shit like that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Women are working now, making their own money. So now that they got that going on, what actually changed? What changes now with the dating dynamic?
The dating dynamic is when women get money, they're not one to share too much, because it's already been ingrained that we're the provider, remember?
Mm-hmm.
From way back when.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already been ingrained. So for her to reciprocate that, if she have money, she's not going to be giving you or wanting to take you out on the first date, especially not the first date.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I took all women out on dates. I told you already. I was the one that was always a provider. I don't need you to do shit for me, is what I'm saying, because I don't want to hear shit from you later. That, oh, he didn't have his wallet, he didn't have this, he wasn't ready, he was that. As time went by, of course, I got better at these things. I stumbled along the way to understand what was going on. Mm-hmm. Thank goodness I had 10 sisters to kind of clue me in on certain things, certain mistakes I was making with women, and it made it a little bit easier for me. So when women get money, it's their money. Because remember, her money is her money, and your money is her money. Sorry, guys, it's just the way it is.
I believe it not.
I'm just telling you, it's just, no. It's not supposed to be that way initially, but in her mind. Remember, I'm talking about her mind. I'm not talking about your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You asked me, right? You asked me what happened. Mm-hmm. In their mind compared to your mind, the two different minds you're dealing with. You're dealing with a feminine mindset, which is the woman, and a masculine. We know this shit, right? But people don't understand that you have to look at it like that. Look at boy kids and girl kids. It starts there. If you're really paying attention, mm-hmm. you'll see what the dynamics of them getting older and what they're going to go through from the time they're little. Mm-hmm. Because you have two different mindsets. It's just a woman and a man. Remember, I told you they're the first one that tell the parent, which is their mother, all the time, there's something wrong with them. There's something happening with them then. Not wrong with them. There's something happening with them. Mom, I am red now. I'm turning red. What's going on? Men will never, we don't have too much distraction through life. We go through life with nothing. We don't go tell our wife, hey, sweetie, I'm pregnant. They tell us we're pregnant after we bust a nut inside of them. We don't know when they're going to be pregnant after you bust a nut inside of her, do we?
No.
She has to come tell you. Yeah. But women are not going to share with you. Women are not going to share with you, right? Like that. That's why you end up being the provider. Because she's not going to tolerate her always being the provider. Even if she is the provider, she's going to be like, what's wrong with this nigga? Mm-hmm. Right? Until if you can make an agreement with it, then yes, it could work. But in the back of her mind, forever and ever and ever and ever, she's going to always be like, I don't know what's wrong with this nigga right here. I'm providing everything. She's going to get a little upset. Mm-hmm. Because the role should have never been reversed. But it just has. And make your money, women. But remember, it's going to be hard to find a mate that's going to really tolerate it. He's not intimidated. Stop with that intimidation shit. Because if we want to take your car, if we are so intimidated, we can take your car. We're not that intimidated. We're intimidated off the top that we don't want to hear no. That's what men are really intimidated about. He really want to have sex with you, and when you tell him no, whatever excuse you give him for your no, he's intimidated by that. He's not intimidated by you per se. That
open his ass or something.
Yeah, like you're gonna be able to hurt him in some kind of way. He's not I was never intimidated by a woman in no kind of way, because I had acquired a lot of skills along the way, and because of these skills, it was easy for me, and there's nothing you could do about it, because I knew what to do step by step a long time ago. And then I found a book that really made it even more easier for me because I always inquired on how I can get better at anything. So when a woman is, she has her money, it's her money. Your money is also her money. You don't have to give it to her. I'm not saying you got to give it to her. I'm just saying it's just the way she's thinking. So this is where a man has to be smart or he can lose everything.
So should relationships be 50-50 now since they making their own money, or is a man has to just pay all the money?
I'm talking as a man, okay? And I'm talking not just as a man, but a man that came up in a different era from 2026, right? So from what I've seen then to what I'm seeing now, and my advice to men is that there's no 50-50. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
There's just no 50-50. If you want to be the leader, I'm just telling you that she's not gonna respect you if you think that you're gonna be able to go in 50-50 with her. She's just not.
So I would say this then. So then when women say that they want a partner, that's bullshit basically.
Yeah, they want a partner in the sense, they do want a partner. They want a partner in the sense that they're included in some discussions. They want a partner.
I'm looking at it like this. If marriage is a business, or relationships are a business, and just look at it with any business. If you had a business partner that didn't want to put up none of the money, but wanted 50% of the say-so, would you still go into business with that person?
It's something different. We're talking about relationship as far as with your girl. I get it's a business.
It's a business, though.
I know, but then remember this too. This is where women win because you don't stay the CEO. You give up your CEO status to her, and then she stepped from the CFO to the CEO because you stop being the guy. You got to be that guy. It may be rigid. It may be rigid, right? With the decision. The final decision is on you. They are not supposed to change your final decision with tears, with craziness, with acting crazy, with yelling, none of that. The final decision is with you. If you want to stay on top, kings never gave the queens
any type of
no. Yes, you can come. You can come talk to me if you want to. Off with her head. Why you think they said off with her? He got sick of her and cut her fucking head off because he was like, "You can't keep talking. I'm the king. I made you the queen. How the fuck you go? I made you the queen. If I was already king and I needed a queen, who made who? Right or wrong? I made you the queen. So you can't come rah around me because there is a place for you that I know. I don't want to send you there, but that's where you're going to go. Why do you think they created dungeons? It was for women at first because the king got sick of that bitch. So he sent her to the fucking dungeons. He didn't kill her off top. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay. Do women still expect men to provide, even if they're independent?
Even if they're women, yes. I hate to, yes, bro. I hate to tell you, yes.
I've
you keep saying
that.
women. You keep saying, you're not saying do men expect women to something. You're saying do women still expect? And the word is expect. Remember, words are very deep for me. That's why I used to because I don't read as much anymore, people. I used to read, but my mind is filled with so many things already. I don't need to read anymore, really. Unless I want to learn something new, I know I will, but I'm on the downgrade, okay? I've been to the mountaintop. I'm coming down now. I'm chilling now, okay? So, women are always going to be expecting. They're expecting creatures. They're expecting more. They just are. They're expecting more and good and love. They're expecting a whole bunch of stuff that really men can't provide. Again, because they start from behind and never get no kind of teaching from a man, a father, because he's off doing whatever the fuck he was doing, not paying attention to his kid. So she raises him with not that mentality like I'm telling you about this man, right? So, oh yeah, she's always expecting for you to provide. And remember, it's not just money. The providing is not just money. So remember, providing is a slew of things. So you have to conform. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
And do you feel men even want that responsibility anymore?
Hell no, they don't want that responsibility. These niggas are sick of these bitches by now because they don't understand women. I do. I don't understand them because I didn't understand them because I didn't understand what I know now, right? It takes time to acquire skills. If I wanted to get married, like me right now with the skills I have, right? If I want to get married right now, wouldn't be a hard thing for me to do. I already know what I would need to do. Boy meets girl. Boy have to go out there. Guy, this man would have to go out there and meet a girl, right? And get her to follow my program, right? And it's a slow down program at my age. She's gonna have to slow down and can't do the things that she once did. And because I'm already slowed down. So she's gonna have to follow suit and see where I'm coming from. But a woman is always gonna expect you to take charge. And keep taking charge. You cannot give it up, guys. You can't give it up. You're the king for a reason. To keep the kingdom going. You, her. There's no 50-50, people.
Feel that. If a man isn't providing, what happens in the relationship?
He gets looked down upon. Not just by his girl, his woman, his wife, his mama. If she wanted to see something great for her son, is gonna be like, nigga, what the fuck you doing? How you have this girl taking care of you? That's why I never had women to give me shit. Again, I don't need nothing from you. Nothing but some pussy. And if you try to hold that off from me, I will cheat on you. That's why I always cheated. Because you're not gonna suppress my urges at any time. I always had somebody on the side. I always fucked around. It may not be in the city,
Brahamid.
but it was out of town or on my travels. I am going to have sex whether you like it or not.
Hey man, they're gonna say you're a bad man, man.
Yeah, I'm a bad man, bro. This is how I see things, man. This shit is not for everybody. It's not gonna be for everybody. I'm just telling you the truth of you're looking at a truth teller. I'm telling you how it goes on my terms. This is the way that I roll. You're not going to do those things to me. You're not going to tell me, oh, not tonight. I go, okay, then I'm about to take a little ride around the corner. And you already know what that means. But I was smooth about it, though. I got caught one time, and it was my own fault. But anyway, some other story.
So do you feel providing is tied to respect?
Yes, of course. You're going to be more. I told you, you're going to be. They're going to love you off top that you got your shit together. You're making it easier when you look the part. It's easier for you to attract more women when you look the part. You know how many stories I heard about how so many girls liked me just because of the way I was dressed? It had nothing to do with my money. They didn't know if I had money or not, right? How can you tell that I had money or not? But my clothes displayed that I had a lot of money, right? My attitude, I don't get shaken by a no. I didn't get shaken by no's from a female too often. It might sting a little bit, but I know that there are more of you guys than men. There are 2 million more women that I could deal with. 2 million! I have a pick of thousands of litters, not just one litter. So I always scored. I always scored at the top of the list because I came with skills that paid the bills.
All right, Liam Nielsen. I'm a man of many skills. All right. So what's really the issue right now? Men, women, or both?
We have dealt with this. It's both. It's both. We've already dealt with this already, and I'm gonna elaborate on it again. So I'm gonna start out why the issue is with the women. They're expecting way too much for a man that is really making minimum wage or barely making it, especially if you have squandered your hard-earned money. If you're making $75,000 a year, you're living a $75,000 a year lifestyle, right? So if you're making $50,000, you're living a $50,000 a year lifestyle. But the average is still under 50. The average income of folks is under 50. So for the women don't understand that this nigga can't afford you, he will go broke trying to impress you, right? And women, he can't afford you, okay? So he's cannot pay your mortgage or your rent, and he's barely paying his. How you gonna ask him for some stupid shit like that? Really?
I thought that's what makes him a real man.
What's so delusional? He's already been a real man. What do you mean? We are real men. What do you mean? You know, that's a stupid ass shit. Oh, he ain't a real man. He's a real fucking man. Strip him of his clothes and something is hanging there. He's a real man. Strip you of your clothes, you have a pussy. You're a real woman. Stop saying that stupid shit that you ain't a real man. He is a real man. He's not a man that is doing the things that he's supposed to doing. I get that part, but he's a real man. You know? And now I'm gonna get on the men. Men. Gentlemen. Niggas, YNs, whatever the fuck y'all want to call yourself. Right? Unk. All of y'all. You gotta get your shit together. Y'all just do. We do. We have let a lot of our kids end up in jail because we weren't there. Men, you have to understand that women need you to be present. They need your protection. Men, listen to me. You have got to get more involved. I know we were not raised to be too responsible because we didn't turn red or we don't have kids. But we are supposed to be responsible because it's our duty to take care of our family, our wives, our kids, our girlfriend, mainly our wives, though, because then if you have kids, then it only makes sense. So it's both their fault, the men and the women. Women need to start to be more respectful. Men need to start to be more respectful. Everything tied into each other. It's not one is better. Women need to be more responsible with what they say. Men need to be more responsible with what they say. We both need to come together to fix this. Again, there's no other way to fix it unless we both come together.
I agree. What does a healthy relationship actually look like today?
What does a healthy relationship look like? A healthy relationship would have to, again, have a plan. Oh my God, you have to. There's no other way but to have a plan with each other and find out, you know, everything you can about each other before you move forward in marriage and before you move forward in having children. A healthy relationship is staying together through the thick and thin, building together. It's the only way. Healthy means that you care for each other. You just have to know that without us, the world will not go on. We're pushing our kids out there with no understanding. It's not fair. We're not being fair to the next generation, and we wonder why. We wonder why they do what they do. Because we're bitching about some stupid ass shit and neglecting the kids and not teaching the kids anything. So it's not about you, sir. It's not about you, ma'am. It's about the next generation.
Do you feel like clear roles should be defined for it to be a healthy relationship?
Oh, for sure. Fuck yeah. Clear roles need to be defined. That's the problem. One wants to be the man, and she's not in the makeup of a man. And one turns into the woman, but he's not in the makeup of a woman. Right? You both are not supposed to be worried about your hair. I gotta bring this back again. You're not supposed to be worried. Not both of y'all. Come on.
Niggas with the hair, man.
I'm sorry, man. Come on. Both of y'all ain't supposed to be worried about hair, nigga. I gotta go. No. Hell the fuck no.
Cut it now.
You're supposed to have that shit cut and ready, my nigga. You have to worry about grease, comb. Somebody got to sit behind you and braid your shit or fluff your shit and all that bitch shit. That's for women. Women, that was their role.
You know, never made me want to get here is going to jail. And niggas have to get sit between
my
the
nigga, I never even like when niggas cut my hair, much less having. I know bitches usually braid your hair, right? I know most likely you're gonna get a bitch to braid your hair when you're outside of jail, like you said, right? But think about that, my nigga. The reason why they cut niggas here is because you need to be up and running. You're not supposed to be worried about something like that. That's her. That's why I told you that's the part of her liability. When I told you that you're going to have a liability too, that's the part of her liability that you're going to have to try to help take care of. And now you worried about fucking go get your hair braid? Where you at? Well, I'm getting my hair braid. Bitch, you sound like a bitch. My nigga, no. Cut them kids' fucking hair off now. I don't want to hear my son. Ow, my hair. Oh, mom. If I see that shit, if I ever was to have a son and my wife is growing my son here, one day she's gonna come home and that nigga shit gonna be cut. I'm taking him to the barbershop and cut with her. This is not have nothing to do with her.
Man, what if I wanted to have a perm?
You could do that shit when you leave my house. Go have your perm when you leave my motherfucking house. You ain't gonna have no perm in my house. Get the fuck out of here. Man, I cut my fucking when Jerry Curls was in, nigga, I had a perm. I went to school with a perm one time with rollers in my hair. See, niggas don't know I had here. With rollers in my, couldn't sleep like a bitch. I couldn't sleep like a bitch. And so when I went to school, they were like, they calling me Elvis and shit. I look like Elvis. I eventually had to go home and I cut my shit off.
Thank you very much.
So that's not the only time I had dreads. I could talk about hair all day, bro. Don't have no little boy. Boy, he's a boy. Damon, I'm a boy, Damon. That's what the nigga was saying. But he don't know why Damon wanted to hit him. Because the nigga had hair. You know what I'm saying? Cut that shit out, people. Cut these little boys' hair out. He should not be screaming and hollering to get his hair fucking braided. It's not fair. Cut your shit, you niggas. Stop being little bitches. You're not a woman. You gonna be in the feminine class now. You're feminism if you got hair. You fall into feminism. You heard of tenderism? No, it's feminism.
All right. I'm gonna stall him. All right, man.
Ooh,
shit.
I get heated with that hair shit, nigga. I had dreads, you bitch ass niggas. Cut that shit.
So a nigga can't be doing a little.
No, you nigga throwing your shit back. No, nigga, no. Goodbye.
All right, folks. This is my final question. Woo. Okay. At the end of the day, what is the man supposed to be responsible for?
He's supposed to be responsible for the basics. Okay? The basics. Covering the rent. Okay? And again, he have to start out before he gets her. So it makes it easier for him. So the rent. He's supposed to already have a house, an apartment, and everything like that. The car. His and hers. But if he do have a car, it's hers. I'm sorry to tell you guys that you're going to have to catch the bus, my nigga. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you the real, okay? The light. I'm just telling you, the lights and everything, the food, those are the basics. The clothes, those are the basics. Those are just the basics. Now, when she wants, she's going to, women are always going to work, okay? Women have always worked in society. They're the ones who helped out men in so much way. Women are always going to work, right? Right? So, but if he could cover those things, that's why he needs to start before he acquire a woman. He needs to already have been solidify his status as a provider of himself, of his character, of everything that he do. He's supposed to already have had that. Not going to happen, but I'm just saying, if you're asking a question, right? So I'm just going to tell you what you're going to have to do. Cover those things, and all will go good. Now, here's a prime example of where I say men go wrong. He already have the house. He's taking care of everything. He acquire a woman. She comes into his castle. I call it the castle. You have a castle. She comes into his castle. and now she wants a bigger house. His house is paid for and she wants a bigger house. Here's the rub. What do? Do you get more death by trying to find a bigger house, knowing your kids are going to leave the fold? Or do you stay there being the man and it's final? This is final. This is how we go. This is where I brought you in here and we're going to go out here. Unless certain circumstances I know can have where you need to move. I get that part. But if you want to keep it real, like I'm keeping it real as fuck of how it should go. So I understand circumstances are going to come, but no. I'm not even going to go on circumstances because then people are going to think I'm trying to wishy-wash. I don't wishy-wash, motherfuckers. Motherfuckers out there, I don't wishy-wash. I stay on course. If she wants a bigger house, now here is where you can win. Or you can keep winning or you're going to lose. Here's the rub. Are you going to leave? Because this house is too small. We need a bigger house. You have a 3-2, let's say. You have it paid off. We just hypothetical. We just going on hypothetical. You have your shit together and you can get a 3-2 and you are maintaining then the mortgage. And I'm not going to say you paid it off. Let's say you're maintaining the mortgage and you're good. You got it. Everything is rolling. You bring her in. Remember, you add in more finance when she comes in the picture from what you already have. Right? Mm-hmm. What do? Do you move because she's asking you and saying that we need a bigger house, or do you stay? There's the rub of where a man will be defined. A man could come into the stronghold. A man could come into the male community and we'll be like, you made a great choice, young man. So now we can accept you, right? Now you be accepted amongst your peers or people that are above you if you can withstand that pressure that's going to be put on you. What do you do now? Do you move and start all over again? Or do you stay put? That's the rub. That's the where the man is going to be decided if he's a man or he's still a boy. And when you become a boy is when you let a woman take over. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, women. It's just the way that it is. I don't apologize a lot, I'm just trying to be nice now because this shit is all new. I'm getting on the camera. But I usually don't apologize. No. Right? I always say it like this. I forgot how it go, but it's going to come to me in a minute. I always say a thing where I agree, but then I'll be like, no, I don't agree. Yes, but no. Okay, let's put it that way. I'll say yes, but no, it doesn't work that way. Men, we have to stand up now. It's time for us to stand up and get back into the rightful order of things and stop being punked. And I'm going to go back to it again. You cannot let them take over. You stay the course. You stay the course you started with, and you stay the course until you leave up out of here.
All right. Is there any last thing you want to leave the people with before we get out of here?
Yeah, well, again, you only get a certain amount of time here. Remember that again. You only get 30, 40 at max if you are taking care of yourself. So take care of yourself. Take care of your family if you do have one. Take care of your kids. They are our future. I believe the children are our future, right? Next generation after next generation. So if we don't teach them the good part about our society, our world, they're not going to have nothing to go on to teach their children. So just remember that you only have so much time, people. So always remember the next generation need us. So be present.
All right. Well, that's Brahamid Speaks. Whether roles have changed or not, somebody still has to bring stability. The question is, who's really doing it? We'll be back. If you like what you saw today, make sure you like, subscribe, and share the content. All right, you guys. Peace.
Yeah. Yeah. The world is yours, nigga. Every day's a win, nigga. Even when you lose, it's a lesson, eh? You know? Get your chili, eh? Hey. Every day I'm